how to not be so easily triggered by other people's shit. A very, very brief synopsis. So the first thing you need to do is take extreme ownership of your own shit. And what I mean by that is this, that in every story there is a hero and a villain. And in the story of your life, you are both the hero and the villain. Now you are likely to think that in a situation where you're triggered, that it is your heroic you that shows up. It is the hero you that takes the moral high ground and gets offended. But it is not. Who shows up in that situation is actually the villain you, otherwise known in Jungian psychology as your shadow side. And let me explain that part. Your shadow was created many, many years ago when you were a child, and it contains all of the parts of your personality that you did not want to take ownership of. It's all the parts of your personality that you pushed away, you rejected, you literally, well, metaphorically, pushed them into the shadows. Now, what we tend to think is that if we push them into the shadows, they're no longer a part of us. But like a shadow, it is attached to us. And we drag that through our life for the rest of our life until we deal with it and unless we deal with it. So when we're in a situation and we're triggered, we need to know that the thing that triggered us is something that lies within our shadow. We are triggered by a thing that someone does that we are deep down unconsciously. So if you want to be less easily triggered by other people's stuff, you need to know that when you are triggered by someone who lies or cheats or steals or begs or argues or whatever, there is a part of you that is that. So the first thing you want to do when you want to be less easily triggered and you want to start bringing this stuff out of the shadows and into the light is writing down all of the times when you've been triggered by people and what are the common things that you're triggered by. And then ask yourself, how is that like me? So if you're triggered by people who are, I don't know, overly sharing, ask yourself, how is that like me? And then once you've got clear on that, or a little bit clear on that, the second question to ask yourself is, how am I going to deal with that? And am I willing to accept that and embrace that so that I can let it go? Because if you want to show up more as your heroic self, you need to have less opportunities for your villain side to show up. You need to bring the shadow into the light, integrate it, and eliminate it. If that makes sense, go ahead and do it right now. If you need more help, let's chat.